Hello, Psychology community. How are you all doing? Lovely to be here today and to join you all on this talk. So I'm going to be talking today about restoring our energy through taking back a bit of control in our time. You know, feeling like we really own our time and that we're not letting things getting in the way as well. So hi, I can see people joining. Lovely to have you here. Please feel free to say hello, and if you have any comments or questions today that you'd like to ask me, of course, please do pop them in the comments below. So hi Cecilio, lovely to see you here today. Thank you for joining. So we'll just wait a little bit while more people come on. So just to give you a bit of a background as to who I am. Some of you may have seen a few of my videos on the Psychologies page here before. So my name is Tania Diggory. I am the founder and director of Karma, which is a platform that supports entrepreneurs and purposeful organizations to empower them to manage their mental well-being with business success. So we go through lots of different programs, workshops and events, and take them through intensive programs as well. A lot of different services which you can find out on our website, thisiskarma.com. So yeah, we're all about empowering individuals, empowering entrepreneurs, freelancers, those who are thinking about making a change, you know, making a difference, doing something that steps them out of their comfort zone, and empowering them on that journey to know that, you know, to really value the importance of looking after your mental health and well-being as you, whether it's grow your business or start a new passion project, just do something that really lights you up and makes you feel alive. So that's what we do, and that's what I'm here to share with you a little bit about today. So to give you a bit of an insight into some of the topics that we cover, which is absolutely around time management as well, you know, looking after yourself, looking after your well-being, while trying to navigate the different areas of life. So hi Jen, hi Anyana, lovely to have you all here today. So thank you for joining me. So without further ado, we will get started, and anyone joining as the call goes on, you know, please do feel free to get involved. Hi Hannah, and yeah, of course, you know, if you come in later, then feel free to rewind back and to watch the video. So let's get started. Hello everyone. So we're going to start with the idea of managing our time. So what does that mean, and where can we get started with that? Now, how many of you really identify with the thought of there's so much to do and not enough time in a day? Is anyone sort of feeling that way at the moment? Feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit perhaps disempowered with actually taking control of your time and knowing how to do that, like how to even start? Okay, all right, thank you. So yeah, I've got a few comments there. So really the first thing I'd like to open your minds up to is to the thought, the theory, the idea that I truly believe in, is that we're not necessarily busier than we've ever been before, but our minds are busier than they've ever been before. So that's something that I'd like to start opening you up to, that idea that it's our minds that are really taking on more. You know, we're in a world where it's digital, we're connected globally, there's information constantly 24/7, there's so much that we're absorbing, so much we're taking in, and actually it's now more important than ever to really take control of our time, our habits, know what our habits are, and when we're actually looking outward, you know, to find something else to distract us from what's really going on or from what's really important to us. So it's really down to us, you know, to really take control of our time in that respect. There's so much going on, and it can really lead us to feel like we're out of control with our time and actually how we manage it. But a recent study showed that the average time that an individual spends on social media, and this isn't during working time even, it's just your, you know, going on, just having a look, scrolling through in your breaks or other times in the day. How much do you think the average time that somebody spends on social media is? Okay, so well, we'll see if anyone comments. Does anyone have any ideas? What would their ideas be? If you fancy dropping a comment, feel free. So have a think in your minds. What would the average time spent on social media be these days? Okay, and it actually comes down to 3.5 hours on average. Okay, so some people more, some people less. So you think about how much time is being spent just on social media as well, just from scrolling, flicking through, reading messages, and actually time can run away with us with that if we're not careful. So, you know, do you ever think about that? I found that really, really insightful and not really surprising, because it's on our phones as well, isn't it? Just popping up, it's there, you know. And so we've had a few people saying 6 hours, 4 hours. So yeah, you're not far off at all. So 3.5 is the average, and yeah, 4 hours, some people would be more. So as a starting point, just think about what that's doing to our minds. You know, we're constantly taking in information, constantly absorbing things going on around us, what people are sharing. There's so much being shared all the time, uploaded information. It can feel a bit of an overload, you know. So really it's about how do we take back that control in our time, you know. So our minds potentially are busier than us actually being physically busier. So the first thing is about, I want to delve into how we first of all restore our energy around that. So how do we go about restoring our energy? So just had a comment there about just on my previous point about social media. My business is on social media, so yeah, there are so many businesses on social media, and actually, you know, if you're not on social media as a business, then you could be missing a massive opportunity. So the research study I just shared was about outside of your business hours. How much are people on average, you know, spending on social media? So, and also within business, you know, there has to be some boundaries there as well. So, you know, even if your business is online, is on social media, you do need to create those boundaries for yourself too. So you're not constantly online yourself, and you're giving yourself that time to rejuvenate yourself as well. So, right, restoring your energy. So to start with, we have to just take a step back from all of that, okay? So I'd encourage you to take a deep breath and just step back from it all. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, it's just getting too much for you, you feel like you're out of control with your time, take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth, and just take a step back, whether that from whatever you're doing, because really your health and well-being is worth it, okay, to sacrifice those 10-15 minutes, however long it is, to just take a step back. All right, research shows that actually taking a break from whatever you're doing in the day is really, really important, because our brains can only focus on a task or a few tasks that we're doing for up to about 90 minutes before it starts to get tired. So actually, while we feel we may be being really productive and just powering through and getting through the day, getting through breaks, it's not necessarily being really productive in our time and our energy levels and our productivity levels for whatever it is that we're doing. So I'd really like to invite you to consider that next time you feel like you're time starved and you can't even take a break, actually giving your brain that opportunity to step back, switch off and rejuvenate actually helps you come back to your work and whatever you're doing with more creativity, more productivity, feeling more switched on, okay? So absolutely, Anna's just said boundaries are so hard, and that is so true, you know. I don't get friend FOMO, I get business FOMO. No, I hear you there, Anna, it is so true, you know, and it's about, again, like what we're exploring today is about taking control of that. So whatever I'm talking about today, do really apply it to whatever it is that's relevant to you right now, because we're all on this call, you know, today on this video call, coming from different perspectives. So think about what this would be most beneficial for in your circumstance. Okay, so taking that step back, realizing that taking those 5, 10, 15 minutes break incrementally throughout the day actually helps your brain give the rejuvenation time that it needs to recharge, reassess, and where everything's going and how things are going for you at the moment, and gives you a bit of thinking time. The adverse effect, if we don't take those moments in the day and that time to reflect, is, you know, we're not created to just be doing all the time. We do need that time. Our body, you know, we're only human beings. We need that time to step back and recharge from everything. Because otherwise it will all just become too much, you know. So actually in those moments, those times of reflection and pausing, you can actually find those are the moments where you have your ideas come through, those moments of inspiration. And especially as a business owner or entrepreneur, if you're looking to start up your own thing, or if you are doing your own thing, you know, reflection is a really valuable, really important part of the journey as well. So actually think about what it's costing your business if you're not stopping to pause and reflect and actually see how things are going, see how the market's responding, see what's going well, what's not going well, how things can be improved, and how you can improve yourself and your time, because it's a constant journey, right? It's not about just arriving at a place and then being 100% confident the rest of your life in what you're doing. It's not really about that, okay? That's not realistic. You know, again, we're human beings, so we have our ups, we have our downs, okay? So just realizing that, accepting that's really important, and just being, you know, just letting go, just having that time to just be and reflect. Okay, so I hope that's resonating with you guys. So it's an aspect of restoring your energy, just taking those 10-15 minutes away, reflect, think, what is really going through me right now? What am I thinking about? What is stopping me or making me feel a bit stuck? You know, and how can I move forward? Take those moments to reflect, because usually those are the times where we get our moments of inspiration, okay, and those ideas that come to our minds. Okay, so have a think about that. That's step one. Step two is about taking control of your time. Okay, so now how do we go about that? How do we even get started? Okay, so I've got a couple of questions I want to ask you. So rather than getting swept up in it all and thinking it's just so difficult, it's very easy to get swept up in the drama in your mind, okay? And we all have the capability to do that, okay? So it's about just recognizing when that's coming up for you, when things are feeling way too much and it's overwhelming, just taking a step back, pausing, and thinking, okay, well, how is this really benefiting me right now? What can I do differently? Because this isn't fun. This isn't great. I'm not feeling good, in this state. I want to get to a more empowered state. I want to empower myself. Okay, so 2 questions to ask yourself is, what is stopping you from feeling in control? Okay. Write this down as well. I encourage you guys to take stuff away from this course. It's not just you're here listening, which is great, and I hope you're taking in a lot of value, but also I'm going to give you some practical steps to go away and actually put into practice, so you can really see these benefits. So the first thing I said was about restoring your energy. So putting into practice that habit of taking a step back, giving your brain the time that it needs to switch off and reflect and let the ideas flow, and be really honest with yourself. The second step around taking control of your time, ask yourself these 2 questions, all right? And so write these down and then have these to reflect on. What is really stopping you right now from feeling in control of your time? Is it something that's going through your mind? Is it to do with you? Is it other people's expectations? And be really honest with that too, because sometimes it can be the expectations we put on ourselves, which often we, don't necessarily always like to realize or admit, but it is sometimes is the case. And actually, the more honest you can be with yourself, the more authentic you can be with where you're at, then the better it is for you, because then you can take steps to move forward to feeling more empowered, to feeling more, just your best self, really. So what's stopping you from feeling in control? And the second question is, what patterns are playing out here for you? So if you're noticing a repetitive routine, a repetitive pattern, okay, repetitive feeling of overwhelm, a repetitive feeling of just sprinting and running, and it's just, just keeping going all the time, and it's just not happening, whatever it is that you really want to just take control of, what patterns are playing out for you? So with that, I mean, also, okay, so Anna, thank you for sharing that. She said, I expect far too much of myself. Thank you for your bravery in being honest and open about that. And I really think there's a lot of strength that comes from being vulnerable, just being honest and just saying, well, this is how I'm feeling, okay? Because otherwise, what's the alternative? That's what I always ask myself as a coach, and for my clients as well, is what is the alternative to that? So you can either stay stuck, stay feeling overwhelmed, which is a repetitive pattern. And remember, our brains are hardwired to resist change. So even when we try to change our habits, can feel a bit of resistance to that, and that's normal. But understanding that and accepting that can be a step forward as well, even if it feels like a small step. Okay, I know this is difficult. I know I'm going to feel a bit of a resistance here to changing my habits, changing my way of thinking, changing my thought patterns. But, acknowledging that, it really is the first step. So whatever we tell ourselves as well, so I'm talking about thinking patterns particularly here, okay? Because what we tell ourselves, especially if they're negative thinking patterns, right, they just keep sending a feedback loop in our mind to the subconscious part of our brain. That's not the part that's always switched on, that we're consciously aware of, but it stores and processes all our experiences in life, everything that we're going through, everything that we're experiencing, and all the lessons that we learned. And you're sending back that feedback loop to that part of your brain to believe that as truth. It's storing it as a memory, as an experience. Okay, this is true about myself. I'm a really overwhelmed person. I'm really stuck. I'm not able to move forward. If you're telling yourself these repetitive thinking patterns, they're just that. They are thought processes. They're thinking patterns, and they can be recoded, and you can change those to patterns that are going to work for you rather than against you. So it starts by flipping it on its head, So whatever those thinking patterns are for you, write those down, okay? So we've got 2 questions there. What's stopping you from feeling great and in control of your time? And what patterns are playing out for you? Just be really honest with yourself. Write those down. And then think about how you can start thinking differently. Okay, what thought patterns can you start sending as a feedback loop in your brain to start changing and shift the way that you think about these things? And it's amazing the incredible effect that can start to happen in your life, okay? Because it will start to play out in different areas. Whatever we tune into in our lives is what we're going to focus on, and it's what we're going to spot, it's what we're going to pay attention to. So if you're focusing on negative thinking patterns, things that aren't working for you, you're going to be far more in tune to other things surrounding you that's going to reflect that, okay? And that's going to become your reality. So what we're trying to do here is shift your reality, okay? So shift your thinking patterns, make them work for you, flip them on their head, say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, but that's okay, I accept it. What can I do right now to change things? I know I have the ability to change things. I know I have the ability to not feel overwhelmed. You know, just changing it like that. Do you see how empowering that suddenly becomes? You're telling yourself, I've got this. This is how I'm feeling right now, and that's fine, because we all feel different things throughout the day, and they don't define you. They're not who you are. It's a feeling that you're going through at the time, right? So you're not an overwhelmed person. You're feeling overwhelmed. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely, right? So Anna's just said, I'm quite a together person, really. I just sound like a drama llama. Drama llama, I like that. Well, we all have our drama llama moments, Anna, that is for sure, okay? So whether it really plays out and it's open and obvious to all, or whether it's something that internally we just know we're going through ourselves, and we just need that support, you know, to take ourselves out of that state into another state. So if that state's not working for you, you can do something about it. That's the good news, okay? It takes a bit of time, and it takes commitment to think of things differently, to approach things differently in a more empowered mindset. But that's what you then start paying attention to. You'll start noticing and focusing on things that really help you pay attention to the things that are going to lift you, that are going to give you the right opportunities to really focus on what's important, okay? So yeah, absolutely. So Anna said, replace the overwhelmed feeling with another feeling. Yeah, so what could that be for you, Anna? So start to write out, what could that feeling be for you that you feel would help you access that best part of who you are, you know, and really enliven that and live through that, because we've all got access to that, right? We've all got these amazing resources within us, and what holds us back often is fear. You know, it's fear of the unknown, fear of what's going on, you know, these feelings that we talked about today, like feeling overwhelmed, feeling disempowered, but those are feelings and they can be turned around, okay? So I hope those two questions help you guys. So what is stopping you from feeling in control of your time, and what patterns are playing out for you? How can you flip those patterns around, start, you know, accessing more empowering, thoughtful patterns that work for you rather than against you? Okay, good stuff. I hope that's all helping you guys so far. So now the final part we're coming on to is about committing to what is important. Now that's different for all of us. So I'd advise, I'd suggest for you guys to take a moment with this exercise to take time and think about what's really important for you, okay? So what is really important, because it's going to be different for everyone. So I'd suggest writing down what you feel is really important, and that can be from the people in your life, where you're spending your time, how much time you're spending on leisure activities or passion projects or hobbies compared to work. What's your work-life balance like? What are your relationships like? What is your health and well-being routine like? All these aspects. So just, you know, map out what that's looking like for you at the moment and what's really important to you. Where do you want to spend your time and energy? Okay, because as much as it's such a common, you know, thought process to think, especially in this day and age, you know, where there's so much going on, like I said at the beginning of this video, so much to do, not enough time in a day. The thing is, we all have the same amount of time in a day. So how come some people, and, you know, very successful people as well, seem to manage to have it all together, whatever that means? Yes, because usually they have an amazing support system behind them. They have processes in place. They are strict about what they delegate to other people that's sucking their time and energy, and it's not putting them into their own zone of genius, okay? So think about what your zone of genius is, what you really feel your strengths are, and what you know, if you focused on 100% and you had no limiting beliefs in the way, where would that take you, right? So really think about that. So this is a good exercise for that, and thinking about what's really important to me, how do I want to carve my time out? And, you know, give yourself a score, like in each of those areas. So what's it looking like at the moment out of 10, let's say, you know, 1 being like really low, not happy, to 10 being amazing, 5 pretty neutral. And what would a 10 out of 10 look like in each of those areas for you? Okay, so that's another exercise for you guys to do. And I just want to reflect on a question I said earlier as well. So if you're looking at all these areas and thinking, well, this is really important to me, I want to spend more time with family, friends, with my partner, with children, whatever it is, or whoever it is, I want more time for my well-being, I want to commit to more classes or a course or whatever it is, you can absolutely do that. It's just prioritizing your time more effectively, okay? And we all have our own priorities, so it's figuring out what those are for you. And if not taking steps to bettering that for yourself in the areas where you want to improve, then just going back to my question I said earlier, what is the alternative? Okay, so if that's one thing that I want you guys to take away from today, it is, what is the alternative? You know, okay, stay where I am, stay stuck, or just take that step and realize, you know, what's the best that can happen? Forget what's the worst that can happen, right? Think what's the best that can happen for you. You take a step forward in terms of speaking to someone, asking for help, doing something a little bit differently one day and seeing how that feels, you know, there's so much good that can come for that. So just try it, you know, just take a go, have a go at it and see what happens. Okay, so that's what I really encourage you all to do today. So I hope that's been really, really helpful for you, given you some insight and empowered you on your Monday. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to know kind of what you guys are up to and what you are doing. So I will take a look at the comments below, and I know a few of you have been posting during the call, so I'll have a little look as well. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you'd like to know more about what I do and how I help others and empower others, feel free to check out my website, which is thisiskarma.com. That's spelled CALMER. Yeah, if you have any questions, of course, just let me know. So our minds are busier, not necessarily that we're busier than we've ever been. Okay, so do try and think of that when we think, oh my God, I'm so busy. All right, perhaps our minds are just a bit busier, and we can take the control to calm that down, because no one else is in control of our minds but us. Okay, so restoring your energy. So remember to trust yourself, take that step back, take the breaks, and allow yourself to take the breaks. Okay, because it's really important for our well-being and as human beings. Take control of your time. So those two questions. What is really stopping you from feeling in control of your time, and what patterns are playing out for you? And then finally, with the aspect of, you know, figuring out what's really important to you. So what do you feel is really important? Work that out in your life, you know, all those different areas, give them a score. What would a 10 out of 10 look like for you, and start taking steps to getting there? And what would those steps look like for you? Finally, what's the alternative, right? Okay, so you've got nothing to lose by giving it a go. So I hope that's really helped you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. Always love coming on Psychology's page and delivering one of these sessions. So, and thank you to the Psychology's magazine team, as always, for being a dream to work with. Of course, please do check out the Life Leap Club as a Life Leap Club. Getting tongue-tied there. Life Leap Club, the online coaching opportunity for you when you subscribe to Psychology's. It's a free tool to receive more coaching videos like these from experts in different fields all around the world. So it's an amazing opportunity, and there's a link in this in the above post comments for where to go to find out more about that. Right, so thank you guys for joining me today and for your comments and engagement. Really appreciate it, and wishing you a wonderful and inspiring day ahead. All right, take care of yourselves, and hope to connect with you again soon. All right, bye.